I
Well,
was
you
close
ran home.
to my to the hotel, to my home, to my
What's up?
temporary home.
Oh, it's temporary now.
Uh,
What's up,
Come
big
on,
dog?
man. I wasn't gonna give you the whole thing. First I was trying to see where you go, and then, I'm not thinking about living with my kids all the time here. But you got to do what you got to do sometimes, man.
But
Take
that's
it
how you
ahead.
promote. That's how you promoted it yesterday. I asked you, and you said, "Man, they're gonna have to figure it out." That's what
I
you
didn't tell
said.
you I lived in a hotel though. I didn't give you the
Listen,
details.
I didn't know you lived in a hotel.
Somebody
I
else noticed.
Right. See, I'm not looking like now I am, but yesterday I was engaged in the conversation with you. You see what I'm saying? So I'm
All right.
not looking and paying attention to all that. I don't really care.
Yeah, but
You
I
see what
came
I'm saying?
to discuss between job and gig work, and then the situation came to where, I said I choose to live in poverty because, I've noticed that when you try to live in luxury, sometimes, you kind of go, instead of going up, you go down. So I know I'm kind of going, contradicting myself because I live in a hotel and people think I pay more money. In reality, I've done the math, and it's better for me right now because the rents they want first, last, deposit, and I don't want to give all my money right now for that. So I'm trying to see where I'm at right now. I was making 2,000, 1,800 a week, so I was doing good, man. But right now, where I'm at right now, tourist season kind of went down, so it's slow. But that's every business. I've been doing this for 4 years, so it goes up, it goes down, but
What
you got to
business you
stick it
got?
out.
What business you
No,
got?
I'm not
You
saying
got a
that
business?
not the business, but the DoorDash, the Instacart. So I've been doing it for 4 years full time, 4 years, right?
Okay.
And I paid my rent with it, but like I said, I made some stupid decisions, and I don't know how to budget, and I'm really ignorant with finance. Sometimes I'm not the type of guy like the guy yesterday who he was like, I got a degree in accounting and all this, and all of a sudden he didn't know how to do math and this and that. I'll be upfront with you. I don't do that. I don't be boasting to myself. I know this, I know that. And then come to find out I
So
really don't know. So,
so
but I'm honest with you. I don't budget like that. I don't. I just when I spend, I spend. Use the card. I don't really, you know what I mean. I just notice how much income I get, and then I'll just spend. But that's my problem. That's my problem.
let's get
I
let's
don't
get you up
budget.
out let's get you up out of that hotel, pimp. Let me help
Not
you get
now
up
though.
out of there.
Right now.
I'm gonna help you
Six
get up
months.
out of there. No,
Give me 4 to 6 months.
I'm gonna help you get up out of there. I want to use you as a social experiment.
I'm on a
I want to
vacation right
use you.
now, man. I'm on a vacation right now.
You on
I'm not poor,
vacation?
poor. If I was poor, I wouldn't be able to afford a hotel, man.
No, you do gig work. You
Right.
said yesterday you was poor and you want to remain poor on
But when I
purpose.
said that's what I told you. When I mean poor, I mean I don't want to get a. I want to get a luxury car. I don't want to get a house with a backyard right now because I don't have the means to. Like I got to live
Bro,
in beyond
we're not we're
within my
not talking
means.
about that. We're not talking about that, pimp.
Poverty.
Yesterday you were spewing this rhetoric about why poor is better. And today
Yeah,
it's
it
like you
is.
singing a different tune, bro.
'Cause I'm poor, so if I try to live like I'm not poor, I'm gonna end up worse because I've done it before, right? Because sometimes, like let's say Dante London got money, he thought he was rich, so that's how kind of I am, like in a way. But Dante London, he depends on daddy government. I don't. I stick it out home myself. I've done car work. I've done many things, bro. I have skills. That's why I don't worry. If I was a lazy guy, my wife would be worried. She would have left me a long time ago. She's not worried. She knows my skills. She knows what I could do. But right now, at the moment, for me and my kids to be with them, I chose this work, or you don't call it work, to be with my kids because they're young. I don't want to send them to the daycare, none of that for now, right? And I've done side hustles and all that you're saying, but my motivation has never been money. So if I wanted to, I know I could be rich. When I was younger, I could have been rich. I made bad decisions, but I've never been motivated like you, like money like that. To me, like if I have food and clothes and shelter today, I'm good, right? Maybe
I mean, no,
that's what I mean with poverty. That's what I mean with poverty.
that's necessity. But I asked you a question yesterday as far as the future, and you said, "Well, they're gonna
I
have
don't
to
think
fend for
about the future
themselves."
like that.
But you got three
That's what
kids.
I'm saying.
You got three kids, right? Or two.
Yeah, three.
So you got three kids, and you should care about the future.
Why? I can't control. Can you control the future?
It's not about controlling; it's about being prepared for it. You got
The
three kids. I gave you a
the
scenario
I don't know what's
yesterday.
coming. How do you
No,
prepare if you don't know what's coming?
that's the point. That's the
Right,
point. That's the
right.
point.
Well, let's say I save up 20 racks, or I live in a good house, and all of a sudden, my kid dies, or I die, or I get sick. You can't really know what the outcome will be with money or without money. So that's what I'm telling you with religion. That's where religion comes in my life, and I've experienced this in my life. This is why my wife has been with me for so long. Doesn't mean I'm lazy, and it could be. I'm not gonna say I'm not lazy. It could be when I was younger, I was lazier. That's why I didn't take advantage of my time. But I've never been motivated for money. I have a whole lot of talents that I could use to make money, but just that's never been my motivation, man. Maybe I'm wrong with it. I'm wrong. I
No,
could be
I'm
wrong.
not. I'm not. That's here's the thing. I get the idea of living like a Viking if it's just you. I get that.
Right.
I get there's
And I'm
nothing
not
wrong
gonna
with
do
that.
it permanently. I'm not doing this permanently. You think I'm gonna? No. I'm telling you, it's good when you're poor. It's good to live within your means and think like poor, like a
Listen.
poor. Even some rich people, they dress like they're poor. And you don't even know they're rich, right?
So
You don't
here's
even know they
where
think they're rich
here's where you're losing me. If you're doing what you're doing right now because you got into a situation and
because
this
I
is a
don't look for
temporary.
daddy government or I don't ask my family for handouts. So I
Hold
do it
on,
myself, man.
and you got a plan, but here's the issue: you don't have a plan because you're saying you don't live for the future. You don't care about the future tomorrow. I use the kid scenario
Because
because
I got
everybody.
skills, so I don't worry.
Hold on, bro. But here's what I'm saying. You said, well, man, we can't control the future. We don't know what's going to happen. I say that's why you prepare for it. We
I
hope.
get it.
We hold
Saving,
on.
right? Saving. You
You
mean
hope.
saving money? Is
You
that what you
hope.
mean? What do you
You
mean?
ever heard you ever heard the saying, hope for the best but prepare for the worst?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right? You could
Right.
have, and I tried to use this example because you use negative examples. You just said, man, my kids could die, I could die. I don't use those
That's
examples
true
because
though.
I think,
But that's
hold on.
true. But isn't that
Words are
reality though?
words are
Is that
powerful, and you
reality?
words are powerful, and you speak things into existence. That's why when I use hypotheticals, I use positive hypotheticals. That's why I said what one of your one of your children could excel really really well in school, and they can get offered an opportunity to go to an Ivy League school, and you shot that down. Why would they want to go to
Because
an
I'm
Ivy
not
League school?
because I'm not in your mindset.
No, no. But what? But here's the thing. What if you have a child that performs exceptionally well in school, and they get a chance to go to a Harvard or a Yale? Wouldn't you want to be prepared that if that happens, you can send them there? Like, why would you want
How?
to
Harvard?
deter
Yeah, isn't
them?
that rich people stuff? Isn't that a rich people place?
It has
That's not
nothing
for
to
the poor,
do.
bro.
Listen, it's an expensive school, but it's just a prestigious school. Everybody doesn't get an opportunity to go there. So if you have a
Right,
child
right.
that gets an opportunity to go there, and they really want to go there, but because you weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing, which was preparing for that for
I'm
those
being a
18
father, bro.
years,
I'm teaching them.
no, bro, you're saying why would they want to do that? That was your response, and to me,
Right.
that's
No,
asinine.
I'm saying
That's
I'm saying the only reason people want to go to Ivy League school or a fancy school because that's ingrained by their parents. No kid wants
that's
to
not
do something
true.
unless their parents ingrain them to
No,
do it.
that's not true. If you have a child that's damn near a genius, a kid
Maybe I
that's
don't have
that's
a. What if I don't have a child that's
bro,
a genius? What if I just
bro,
have a regular Joe
hold
like
on,
me?
bro.
Child. Is that something bad?
Listen, a kid that's that smart that gets invited and accepted into that school. These are the people who are striving for greatness.
Right.
They
According to you,
hold
though,
on, no, bro. They work
I
to
don't
get
think
to,
like that.
bro. They work to. This is why you where you at, bro. That's why you there.
Why? Why am I? Because I choose,
You
not
just
because I can't,
no
bro. I could
because
probably make more money if I decided, especially
bro.
if I was younger. If I wanted to, I would have made more money than you. If I wanted to, but I don't look. More money doesn't motivate me, man. That's why I have a family.
I'm not even talking
You
about
more
money right
money
now.
motivates you. That's why you don't have a family.
I'm not talking about money. I'm not even talking about money.
It is about money. What else?
We're
What
talking
else is
about
it about?
we're talking about education, and you keep going back to
Forget
money.
education. What's wrong with being a plumber? I don't require education. What about being a tree cutter? What about picking fruit? Everything requires a skill. Don't matter what you do. I mean, it doesn't make you a better person or a Ivy
Uh,
League person. That's just
I'm gonna tell
the
you what.
social classes that you put yourself to.
See what you
I
just
don't play
said.
in that game. I
See
don't
what you
play in
just
that game.
said. One of those things will still be around in 15, 20 years. The other
Right,
two may
I know.
not be. So while you keep having that minimalist mindset, you're
Right.
I like that. Because see, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to sway you. What you're
No, I know,
doing
I
is
know.
you're a guy like me. You're giving me a lot of the answers that I've been searching for. Right? So continue to have that mindset. In another 5 and 10 years, the situation that you're in now is going to be worse.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
No, I'm telling
Because you
you.
think I'm lazy, but
I
that's
just
that's up to you.
I just talked about higher education, and you
I
said
don't care
why would
about
why
higher education. I know a lot of people in my family
we're
went
not
to college. They don't. I
we're
made
not
more money
talking
than
about
them.
we're not talking about you. We use a hypothetical. We said, what if you have one of your three children excels really really well in school?
But
You
that's
can't
not
control.
my.
You
That's
can't
not the standards of
control.
my home, man. My home, you
But
gotta be a person who's how can I say this?
wait.
First of all, no money involved. Like you shouldn't be motivated. That's just me.
You said that's not the
That's why.
standard. So
That's why. That's
education
why
is not a
you
standard in
put
your home.
business above human beings. That's why
Wait,
you're
wait.
willing to step
You
over
said
somebody instead
you
of
said
helping them.
you said education is not a standard in your home.
No, not the Ivy League, go to Harvard, super
No.
fancy. I don't care
But
about that
but
nonsense.
but
That's your world. That's not my world,
it's
man.
it's not about whether you care about it. If you have a child that just performs and they perform exceptionally well in school and they keep going up and they
Good.
get accepted, they get accepted because one, they applied. So that means they want
Right.
to be there. If they get
Right.
accepted,
What if
wouldn't
they
you
don't?
feel it's no, I just said what if they do? Wouldn't you want them to go?
No, I don't care about that. As long as they're a good person, they have a good wife, they stay with one woman, right? They're not trying to do evil to other people. They're not trying to be drug addicts or drug
All
dealers.
right, bro, you got it.
None of that stuff. I'm good with them. Now, if they
All right.
decide to go to Ivy League or however they choose later on, yes, I'll see what I can do to help them out. But I'm not requiring that to them. I'm not saying you got to be this, you got to be that, right? If I see a
That's
skill in my son, definitely I'll put it to work, right? But I'm not requiring him to get a super fancy diploma or IB League. I don't
you
care about
you
that
you
nonsense.
missing
The
you're
skills
missing.
matter to me more than that.
We didn't talk about require. If
That's
we
what you're
know
saying, though.
no, it's not what I'm saying. You're not comprehending. We know you're not requiring. So if you have a child that performs exceptionally well from an educational standpoint, that's because they proactively sought that. We know you're not pushing that on them just by how you're talking.
Right.
We know you're
Exactly.
not.
Right.
So this is a
Right.
child that's secretly reading and educating themselves because you don't send your kids to school. So
Right. Homeschool.
by you homeschooling your kids, and just off the conversation that we're having, I'm curious about the curriculum that you're presenting to your children. I'm curious about that curriculum. So if you have a kid that does excel exceptionally well, it's because they're proactively doing everything
Right.
on their own time when you probably not looking, when you out dashing somewhere educating themselves.
Now I'm with them all day, man.
And that's a hell of a child. And if they get accepted into it doesn't even necessarily have to be in. Let's take Ivy League out of the equation. Just to college. And they say, Dad,
Right.
I know I applied to this college. I got accepted. I really want to go. You know, I perform really, really well in the testing. You know, I got a scholarship, but I need this much money for housing and laundry and food. Like, how would you
I
feel?
have a
What you like?
talk. I
How
have
would
a
you
talk with
feel?
him. I say, son, you could get all that stuff there. You could get all the fancy stuff and all the Ivy League stuff, whatever it is, and then they'll see the life me and the mom had, right? Right? Well, they'll see the life, the how, because like I said, kids learn by example. They don't learn by you yapping all the time. They learn by example. So if they know what love is, they'll get tempted by Ivy League or fancy crap. I don't care. That's not me. So you live in that world, not me. Like if they want to do that, I'll go for it. But then as long as they keep the core values, which is spiritual side, right? And being a good human being, putting humans above business, above money. That's all that matters to me, man.
What the fuck?
Now, if they
Like
want to be super
that
fancy league or whatever you want to call it, good, right? As long as they don't want to kill nobody, I'm good. I'm good with that. But
all
you're
right.
talking to like if I'm in your world, I'm not in your world. That's why you can't comprehend me. I'm not in that type to look for that stuff. I'm not there to require my kids. As long as my kids are good human beings, they learn respect, they learn love from their mother and their father, right? They learn how to, treat people the way you should be treated. stuff like that, like Christian values, man, like Christ-like values, not Christian, but Christ-like values. What matters the most? That's where I get most of my ideology from, right? Because if I just came up this with myself, I would probably wouldn't know what I'm doing. But I get this from Bible, man, right? You're not
So you
supposed to be
so
looking
you
for.
read
It says look for the kingdom first, and then whatever else will be added on to. That's what the Bible says. So you're not looking for that. If God wants to give it to you, He'll give you the skill. He'll give you the way to get it. If my son wants to be Ivy League, and I don't promote that, if God wants that in his life, if he's first looking for the kingdom, God will add that on to him, because He'll give him those the necessary things that he needs in order to fulfill the role that
that, bro.
whatever God has for him in his life.
We know that, but we talking about education and and knowledge, and
Right.
you're digressing away from it, bro. I've like
Because education
everybody.
to me seems nonsensical right now. You got to get in debt to get knowledge. Get the heck out of here, man. Did you say knowledge is free right now in the on the internet? Why would you want to get in debt 20K, 30K, 100K just
you
to
you
learn
you
some
you
knowledge you
you're
might be able to get
you're
on the internet?
missing you,
And and, and, and
you're missing it, bro.
and notice
You're
that
missing it.
I'm doing I'm putting this viewpoint across through religious Bible thing, right? The religious mind's viewpoint, right? Because you're not gonna understand what I'm saying, right? Because you might not believe the same way I believe, right? That's why you think being rich is successful. Successful to me,
Bro,
doing good to
what
others is successful, right? To me,
why do
having a
you
good marriage for 18 years, getting
no no
along,
no no you're
trying to
missing the
get
point.
together,
You're missing the point. You keep saying
that's
rich.
successful to me.
You use rich and poor a lot, bro.
Because you're
To
using
you,
money.
rich
You say you
no
need
no
money to
no.
get ahead. That's what you're saying. In order to
Yeah.
get ahead of the inflation, money is required for that. You got to
Okay.
search for money in order to get ahead of inflation.
And that means you need to work. And you said you don't want to
Right.
work.
But it depends what you mean by work. I just made $22,000 last month or last week. That doesn't come from air, man. Doesn't come from the heaven. It didn't come
You
from
made
heaven. I had to work.
you
I had to do
tw-
some sort of thing to get that $2,000. Not illegal, because
so,
gig apps are not.
20
You
you
don't call it
22
work, but I had to work. I
22
had to
20
work to get.
22 $2,200 last week.
No, $2,000 last week.
Okay, because you said 22,000. All right, so I'm
No,
like, if
2,000. 2,000.
$2,000.
If
Okay,
I pay
so
2,000 in debt in my credit card in 1 month, that tells you how much I worked. You
okay,
you
so
cannot pay $3,000 in 1 month in credit card debt if you don't work, bro.
so
Unless I
so
go steal a bank or do something illegal.
so so okay,
Right. So where's not the
so
working part at?
so
If you don't work, nobody's gonna pay you if you don't work.
here's the thing. You're not investing into the future for your children. That money is coming in and that money is going out, bro. You got five
To
mouths to
me,
feed.
but see, to me, my investment, my you're right about saving money. That's I'm not gonna deny that, but what I'm trying to tell you is the priority first is something spiritual, and then the other stuff secondary, right? So if I don't get my, but a lot of people say, Dante London, he needs a job, he needs a business, but if he don't get his priority mind straight, don't matter what you give him, money, jobs, if he still has the same mindset, he's gonna mess it up. Same way as me, right? If I don't get my priorities straight and stop overspending, no matter how much amount of money I make, I'm still gonna go down, right?
All right. Well, your priorities ain't right. Why you got first of all, you gotta
Right,
get your priorities
right,
right. But
right. But
you
I
can't
have but in that sense, when it comes to family, maybe not business or money right now, but when it comes to family, my priorities are set right there, right? For me, most importantly is to be with my kids, raise them, right? Don't let the
we
schools raise
know
them,
this.
because I got seen right.
We
So
know this already, bro. We
that's my
know.
priority, and then I'll
We
worry
know.
about making the 2,000 to pay the $3,000 debt and credit card. Maybe I go
All
get a
right, bro.
job. Maybe I go do a side hustle. I'm not saying that's if
But if you
to
want to
live in a
live like
hotel
the
is not free, bro. It's not free.
we listen. I know that. All right, but here's where we're because our debate, and this is great. I like this discourse between you and I. I like the conversation we had yesterday because what I'm doing, I'm trying to understand your mindset I don't want your mindset, but I am trying to
Right. So you say
proactively
you
understand.
believe in God, right? You say you believe in God, right? Are you
Yep,
like a
absolutely.
Christian or a Christian God or some other God? Okay,
Christian.
right. So to me, if you don't have that same mindset that's according to what you supposedly believe in, then to me, whatever Christian you say you are, to you that's secondary. To you first
No,
is whatever other
wrong.
thing you
No, no,
put, the
no. You're
money,
absolutely
the
wrong.
Ivy
See,
League, the
you're
success.
new. You're new to my channel. You're new to my channel.
Okay, okay.
Everybody knows my hierarchy. I've never hidden it. Anybody that watch me, they'll put my high. I don't even have to tell you my hierarchy. The people that have been watching me, they'll put it in the chat right now for you, just to prove to you my where how I place things. Somebody will put it in the chat. Just give it a second. It's 1, 2,
So
and
what do you
3.
get? So what do you get when the Bible says, "Search the kingdom first, and the rest will be added on"? What is that saying? Is that saying get your priorities straight? Isn't that saying get your priorities straight first? First, worry about being a good person, doing the things that God wants you to do, and then whatever you decide secondary, that's another. That's the
See,
secondary priority for you, or should be the
see,
secondary priority.
see. God provides everything.
Right.
That's why God is number one. That's the first thing. It's God, it's business, everything else.
Is that what the Bible says? God business.
God, I put God first.
Bible says love God and your neighbor. So if you put your business above your
I love
neighbor,
God.
you're not
I
being
love
Christian,
God.
bro.
I love God.
That's what the rich guy said. I love God, and then Jesus said, "Go sell everything you got and give it to the poor. See if you love your neighbor." The rich guy said, "Nope. You know what? I got too many riches. Nah, I'm out of here. I don't love God that much." Me, I love. If I had $1 million today, bro, my wife knows me. If I had $1 million today, I give 98% of it to the poor. That's how much I don't care about money, man. Because to me, it's
You keep
better
making this
doing
a
good to
money
the.
thing. You keep
No,
making this a money thing.
because we're talking about my this. I get my mentality from my values from scripture, right? And I might have things skewed up, and there's things you can teach me, like saving money. I'm not good with finance. I know those things, but my priorities are set straight when it comes to that side, the spiritual side, right? This is why I worry about family. I could be working, bro. I could get 2 jobs if I want. I'm not lazy like that. Just money don't motivate me, man. Because if
Okay.
I know I go get 2 jobs, I won't see my wife, I won't see my kids. Hey, I don't know what could happen to my kids. Who could, what's going on
So
with my kids?
so you rather have a lower quality of life,
For now,
and you rather
because
have
they're
your
young.
kids have a lower quality of life
For now,
because you don't
I'm
want to
not
go out
saying
and
I'm
work.
gonna be like. I'm not saying it's gonna be like this all the time. I'm
Well,
saying this for now.
see what you don't understand is now is when you should be doing all the hard work. What do you mean for now? Why procrastinate tomorrow
I
what you
just
can
told you
do
I made
today?
$3,000 in a month. That's not, you don't get
Dope.
that by being lazy, bro.
You
You don't
see
get
you
three thousand
so
dollars
okay.
three thousand dollars of debt in a month for being lazy.
Let me welcome you over here. You
My
over
problem
here.
is overspending. That's my
This is
problem.
a bit. This is a business in the trucking channel. You keep saying, "Bro, hey, me, I spent $3,000." To us over here, that's nothing. We're in
I
a
know, I
in a
know, I know.
business where
Right,
that shit is nothing to us.
right,
When I
right,
say us, I'm talking about me, the people in the chat, the people that follow this channel. You keep throwing this three
right.
thousand dollars around like that's like
I'm
bro,
saying,
that
what I'm
ain't
trying to
shit,
tell
bro.
you is that you don't get that by being lazy
What I'm saying is you
or
keep
not working
saying
hard. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
you keep saying you're gonna put off what you could do today for tomorrow. You got three of them. As those three continue to get older, the cost of living is going to continue to increase and they're going to become more expensive. I brought up a positive
Yeah, you're
scenario.
you're 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 you're
Hold on.
talking as if I'm thinking about living in
Po-
a hotel for 6 years or
no,
something
no,
like
no,
that. It's
no.
just temporary to get ahead.
A positive hypothetical. And you digress from it. You shunned it. You looked down on something that could take this child to the next level so that when they get to your point, they don't have to be in your situation. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is key.
Right,
And you saying why would they want
right.
education? Like, bro, I've never heard nobody.
It's
I listen,
education starts spiritually, not
I've
mentally, man.
I've
I don't
talked
want
to
them to be
imbeciles.
talking bullheads, just
I've
sounding all
talked
fancy, have no heart, no
I
soul. I've
what do
seen
you
a lot
mean
of
no
those
heart,
people.
no
They got
soul?
no soul,
Bro,
man.
bro, I got
Got
a
no soul.
soul. I got a
They got a
soul.
whole lot of education, no soul, no heart.
I got a soul. I got a
That's why
heart.
the Bible says
Listen, listen. That's not
this is a
true.
thought for the man to
That's
live,
not that,
to gain the world and lose his soul. I see a whole lot of people without souls, man. They care about money.
bro.
They're
What are you
willing to
talking
step
about,
on their
bro?
brothers while saying I love God. That's why you got churches who take money from their congregations because they say they love God, but they don't love their neighbor, man.
Bro, you
Because they
pay your
want that money.
tithes. You pay your tithes in church. You pay your
Tithe.
tithes.
Okay, you
You
believe
got
in
to pay
that?
your tithes.
That's on you, man.
What, tithes? Tithing and
Yeah,
offering? You got to pay
right,
your tithes.
right. You said knowledge is power. So if you want to keep paying tithes, go ahead.
Okay, so you go to church or you don't go to church?
No, I don't go to church. No, no, no. That to me,
Well,
church is
then
not
what?
what I see
That's
there in the
what.
synagogue.
That's why you don't believe in tithing.
Exactly.
Because guess what? Tithes go to the mortgage of the church, the lights of the church, the gas of the church. When little four in them
So you
get
got to pay the
killed,
church bill.
the
On
tithing
top of you paying
goes
your house
to
bill, now you
helping
got to pay the
people in the
church's bill.
church.
That's
It
crazy.
goes to
God don't.
repasses, all the chicken and shit when people
Mm-hmm.
pass and the church sponsors it. Tithing doesn't necessarily go into the pastor's pocket. Why do you think that? Like that
I don't
church,
know. I don't
they
know.
might not have to pay taxes,
Depends what
but
church you're talking about. I don't know what church
they
you're talking about.
bro, like, come on, bro. Like, I can't let you do that, bro. I can't
But what
let
I'm
you
saying
do
is
that.
my mindset is according to that. But I'm not planning to do this. Like I'm not planning to live like for them like this. I'm just trying to get ahead because like I said, you got to pay first, last deposit. Some people where I'm at $6,000 to move in. You
How
think I
long?
want to give $6,000 right now and put it
How,
out, just lose it like that just
let me
for
ask you
one
this:
month? Crazy, bro.
How long you been living in a hotel?
3 months.
What? Well, were you living in an apartment prior to the hotel?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't
And you
get evicted.
moved.
I just chose not to keep paying the freaking rent
So you chose to let your lease. You at the end of your lease, you chose to move out of an
because they
apartment,
because they bumped it up. Because they
put
bumped
your
it up.
put your stuff in storage, and move into a hotel room with your wife and 3 kids.
Right, for temporary. Because I could go live with my sister. I could go live with my father. But I'm not like I could use a government help as you see Dante London looking for help. Daddy government. That's not me. I look for a way out myself, man.
So
Right,
I see how you found my channel now. I see how you found my channel. I
right,
get it, man.
right, right.
You keep mentioning Dante. So
Mm-hmm.
let me help you. Let me help
Help
you.
me. Help me how?
First, we
I
want
already know
to
what I got
what
to
I
do. Now, if you
well,
got
no, you
something where
don't.
I can go ahead, go ahead. Give me your your
I
your your thoughts.
I want first thing we need to do is we need to change your mind because I don't like
In terms of what?
how
Business, budgeting? What do you mean?
no, just period. Like
Because the spiritual part I told you, that's not changing, bro. That
that's
stays set.
it ain't got nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with spiritual.
That's what drives my mental.
Well, listen, bro. There's some things that concern me when talking to you, bro. One is the education thing for the kids. Like, I don't like how
Mhm.
you demean knowledge, right? Because that's almost like holding them back, bro. If you have
I've
a
been in
child
school.
or
I know how school is,
bro,
man.
you
I'd rather
if you
homeschool
have
them.
but based on what you're
That's
saying,
more
I could
caring.
but here's the thing.
Don't rich people homeschool their kids?
Based on what you're saying, I could only imagine what your homeschooling curriculum looks like.
Right.
I can only imagine what your curriculum, based on how you
My
talk about
sister, my sister does the
education.
same curriculum, and their kids are fine, man.
And
Christian based.
I'm not going to dive into that. But if you have
Right.
a child that can blossom and grow and be great, and this is the example I got. I didn't give you a negative hypothetical. I gave you a positive hypothetical.
Right.
Every time I try to give you a positive scenario, you're saying, why would they want to do that? They could be a plumber.
I'm not
They
saying
could be
why.
this. If
I'm saying
sky's the
you put
limit,
that as
no.
if that's success. I don't see that
If
success.
I'm giving you an example of a child that sky's the limit, and I'm giving you a positive example where they can reach for the stars, and you're pulling your own kids back down. Like, why would they want to go be an astronaut? Why would they want to go be
Heck
a
no.
surgeon? Man, they could.
Heck no.
You said, why would they want to do that? They can go
They,
pick
they
apples
can
from the
do it. They
farm.
can do it. I'm not going to motivate them to be an astronaut.
It's not about motivating them to be an astronaut. I'm saying motivating them to be the best that they could be. Sky's the limit. You're saying no. Every time we talk about
The
something
best
that's
they could be is
way
you
out of
gotta
space,
get one woman, don't have no baby mamas, don't try to do evil to nobody, and then the rest, whatever you do, hey, I'm all for it. But
So
for me,
that's
my
what's important to you.
priority, you
That's
can't be a, you can't
that's
be
what's important to you. One woman,
right,
no
right.
baby mamas,
Spiritual,
and that's.
spiritual side first, right, right. Love your
I think.
neighbors
I think.
yourself,
I think. I
right,
think. I think monogamy is just like in marriage is just common sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's something
right.
that you have to drought. Hey man, every day, make sure when you grow up, be with one woman.
No, no,
Like
no.
that's not something I'm going
That's
to
what I'm saying.
teach
That's
every
example by
day.
the parents, but you teach that
I don't
by
understand that.
example, right? By example, you teach that
I,
stuff by example. That's what I'm
and that's
saying.
what I'm saying. That's not something that you need to proactively talk about every
Right.
day because they're living in a
But if you
2-parent
but if you
household.
send them to school, they're gonna get ingrained with the other. Because I've been to school, you know, you get all the bad stuff in your
No,
head,
you
you
know
know,
how
and you're
kids. You know
young
how
and
you. We talked
school is
about
not
peer
good
pressure yesterday.
in my
No,
opinion.
no,
School
no.
is not
We
good,
we talked we talked about peer pressure
especially when you're
yesterday.
young.
You know how kids get involved and they get taken advantage of peer pressure. It starts at home.
I'm not talking about peer pressure, bro. The way
You
I
you you
learned
you said you
masturbation and
said
porn was from school, bro. Never, apart from math and and whatever they taught when I was younger, it was all the bad stuff and pushed in there, right? So I know
I hear
how
you,
that is,
pimp.
man. So I'm trying to keep my kids away from what I've lived through so that I can be with them, teach them the core values. So when they get the age that they mature enough, they can make the right decision. Even if you do make the bad decision, they'll know what good living is like when they start tasting the bad stuff, right? Start going out, whatever they do, and they'll come back. That's even biblical, right?
All right,
So that's
yeah.
my priority. Then I'm trying to also get a house, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my time, go get 3 jobs, make my wife work, put them on the babysitter. No, I'm not. I'd rather sacrifice my luxury temporarily, be poor by choice temporarily. So when I get ahead, right, then I can see what I can do, business, right? Because I already have my plan with me and my wife. We're not people who are lazy, man. We've had businesses before, right? But like
Mm-hmm.
I said, the priorities got to be straight. You got to get along with your wife because sometimes people try to do business and they don't get along with their wives, and it's not going to work out. It got to be a
All
good
right,
union for that to work.
all right, bro. I get you. All right.
But I wasn't saying like I'm going to stay here forever. This is what I want to do. I'm just trying to tell you I'm poor by choice temporarily to get ahead because if I try to get a new car or try to get a just to look good, just to look like I have money or whatever it is that people do, you know, it's not going to help me. I might look like I got something to somebody, but I don't want to do that because that's going to hurt me. It's going to take away time from my family, right? To me, right now,
This
it's like a vacation, right?
this ain't materialistic. Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. And see, even that word that you're using, your verbiage, like to me, this is like a vacation. Like you're proactively keeping yourself down and you're calling it a vacation. And then I'm telling
I
you,
got you.
yo,
I
you
got
have to plan for the future. And you said, well, I got to plan for the future. Tomorrow ain't promise. I said, that's the point. And then you're talking
you.
about this
Right,
is like a vacation. And I'm like, why would you
right,
put off tomorrow what you could do today? And then you're talking about a vacation.
right.
You're not in a you're not in a position where you
Because
could be vacationing
the
at
job
all.
the job that I do gives me that opportunity to make it a vacation. Because if I was at a job, I couldn't take my kids to the park while at work. So let's say I make a $200 in 4 hours, or $150 in 4 hours. Take my kids to the park, right? Take them to the beach, whatever I do, and then
I
come
made
back.
more than that just talking to
I'm just
you.
giving you an example. I'm just giving you an
No,
example.
I'm
I can
just
make
telling
more
you
if I want.
what is
That's
that.
true.
Okay, so why don't you?
Because I don't want to. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to go get two
Why?
jobs, 3 jobs,
Why?
work like a slave because that's going to take me
Why?
away from my family, bro. That's require at least 5, 6
Well,
months.
now let me. I'm gonna mess your head up. Why didn't you do it prior to having a family so that you would have the resources?
Because I was
Later
never
that when you
motivated
started the
by
family,
money.
it's not
I
about the
was never
money.
motivated by money, man. And
But
I also made bad
all right, bro.
decisions. It's true. I made bad decisions.
Okay, so that's really the answer, bro. And you just making
Right.
excuses. That's really
I
the
got you. I
answer.
got you.
Yeah. So, bro, but so me
It'd be
personally,
excuses if I told you I do want money. I do want to make money. Show me how. Then I'll be an excuse. I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm doing this by choice. And it's not going to be something permanent. My plan might not look good to you, but to me, it may work a little bit. It might
do
not.
you have
It may work.
do you have a plan?
Yeah,
What's your
told you do
plan?
this for 5 months. I already paid $3,000 on my credit card, so now I just got to stack up some money,
Uh-huh.
right? But like I said, things happen, right? The thing went down right now, but that's how it's always been,
All right,
right?
bro. Listen, this is what I want to do. Just keep watching the channel,
Give
bro.
me 6 months. Yeah, 6 months. I'll come back and I'll let you know what
No,
happened.
no, no. We gonna be communicating within the 6 months. You gonna watch my channel anyway. You hooked now. You hooked.
Only reason I watched because it came up on my feed, and I was looking at Instagram, and it comes out on the feed, and I
Yeah.
heard you talking about me, so that's why I came up. But that's the
Yeah.
last time you're gonna see me, man.
I do that. I do that. No, it ain't the last time I'm gonna see you. You know, everybody that
Okay,
say that,
I
they
told you
always
6
watch.
months. I told you 6 months though. No,
I
not me, man. I keep my word.
Oh, so you ain't gonna watch the
Keep my
channel no
word.
more?
I'll watch it, but I'm saying I won't, interact anymore.
No,
What's there more to
no,
interact? I told you already
no,
what I had to tell you, and that's it.
no. I want you to
And then in
interact because
six months, if you're right or I'm wrong, then
no,
you'll see.
no,
And I'll say,
no,
you know
no.
what, I'm wrong.
It's
I
not.
was
It's
wrong.
not necessary about you. I'm going to continue to trigger. Like I'm going to continue to poke the triggers. Like I'm going to continue that rhetoric that's being spewed right now. This mindset of
Right.
pity. I'm going to continue to. You're going to.
Who says I want pity, man?
I'm
Who
not
says I
talking
want
about
pity?
you. I'm just
Okay.
speaking in general because in the conversation
If I
yesterday, that's
wanted
what.
pity, I'd be asking for help. I'd be
No,
trying to get
pity.
hands out from
No,
the
no, no, no,
government
no, no,
and
no, no, no,
ask
no. I'm
daddy
not
for
talking
money.
about you. I'm not
Not
talking
like that.
about you. But when I compare work and gigging and shit, you do gigging, so that triggers you to get into the comments and
Right, 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 right.
talk down
The
work.
job, right.
I want you to continue to watch. Like this conversation, I like this. You know why? Because
Okay.
a lot of people aren't having these conversations.
Gotcha.
These are
There's a lot of
good
people who
help.
live in their car right now, man. A lot of whole people, especially around that. A whole lot of people live in their car, bro. Whole lot.
And a lot of those people are living in cars by choice because they don't want
Right,
to
right,
work.
right.
They don't
That's
want to
true.
work.
That's true.
But
That's
me
true. That's
personally,
true. That's true with
I
me
don't
too.
understand. You live in a car by
No, I'm
choice.
saying I don't. I'm saying I don't want to work because you say work. Like I said, if I made $3,000, it didn't just come out of nowhere. It just had to be work.
So
Although you
so
don't
so
call it
so
work.
so here's where the issue is that I don't think you understand. You work just to get by
No,
at
no,
a
no, no,
yeah at a minimal
no.
because yes, you left an apartment proactively to move into a hotel so that you can reduce
Because
your
the
work.
apartment is way too high, man.
So you can reduce your work. Well, you know what? If we go live here, that means I ain't got to work as
True.
much to live here. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
No.
to me,
Wait. My mindset was if I leave this place right now, stack up some money, and then once I have a little more money stacked up, then I could get a cheaper apartment because I went to the ghetto to try to live in the ghetto. My wife didn't like it, right? Because it was dirty, roaches. She said, you know what? I'd rather live in a hotel. So I said, okay, let's go live in a hotel.
all right. So
Then we stacked up that money and we
so
paid
cool.
the debt.
Now let me ask you this. Let's look at it from another angle. You stayed at the apartment and you just
Right.
went and got another job. So now you increase your revenue
Mm.
to alleviate some of the costs and a lot of the
You're
strain.
right.
Why? I know I'm right.
Because
I'm always right.
you're right. You're right in the way that
Because it's right.
that
Why
you're
would
right.
you
I
want?
can't.
Why
That,
would
that
you?
I'll make an excuse. But it's
You
because if I
can't.
have the opportunity to make more money doing gig work and we with my family, why would I choose to go to a job which I would probably make less, and I would have to get two jobs to make the same,
What do you
and
mean,
I just
bro?
budget and not
Okay.
and not
So
and
so
just
so
budget.
so this is the way life works. Choices and decisions. If you increase your cost of living, 3 kids, each kid you have increases your cost of living. Even if you live minimal from a materialistic standpoint, you still got to feed them.
Right.
So it
Mm.
increases your cost.
Right.
Simultaneously, while the rate of inflation is going up, that means you have to increase your revenue. Instead of you increasing your revenue, you chose
Or minimize the
so
spending.
instead of you
Because it
increasing
might
your
be
revenue, instead of you increasing your revenue, you decided to move out of an apartment, move into a hotel, and it'll be different if you said, you know what, I'm going to decrease my cost by moving into an apartment for 5 to 6 months and still increase my
right. That was
revenue.
my plan. That was my plan. But my wife didn't
Then
want
you know what?
to.
Then I would fuck with you. I'll be like, you know what? I got you. But you decreased your cost by moving out of an apartment, moving into a hotel so that you could work less. So instead of working more, now since your cost is lower, you work less. I can't fuck with that. If you would have did this and did that, then I'll be like, you know what? All right, bet. See, I'm gonna be
Right.
fair, bro. I'm gonna be fair.
Right.
I can't fuck with you coming down here and then say, well, shit, I ain't gotta make this much money no more, so I'm just gonna work enough to make this money. So now you working less. Like to
Right.
me, bro, I'm not gonna be the kumbaya and be like, nah, bro, I ain't
I
nah,
got you
bro.
because you got a different mindset, right? But
And
I'm trying
different
to tell you is
mindset is
that
just
I'd
what it
rather do what
is.
I'm doing right now than get two, three jobs. That's just me, though,
All right,
because
cool.
that's being a workhorse, and I don't want to be a
How,
workhorse,
how
man.
much how much longer you plan on doing Dash? For a long
Told you
time?
maybe 5 to 6 months.
And then what you gonna do?
I'm gonna start a business because I know what a business I do. So I've done it
Okay.
before with me and my wife, so we know how to get it
All right.
started.
All right. Cool. All right. All right, bro.
But like I said, I'm not lazy like you think. Because I'm was lazy like that, bro, I'd be freaking living in the streets.
I mean, but
All the,
everything you
all the
said don't
things that
make
I'm doing right now
everything.
require money. Car insurance. I got two cars. I just have one car. I drive two cars right now, so I got two phones, right? So and I got storage and all that stuff. So that requires money. If I was lazy, I wouldn't be able to do none of that.
Okay. All right.
And pay my debt in the month.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. I got you.
Right.
All right. All
So
right.
you think it's not work, but I'm telling you, I had to work 3 months straight, bro. That's why I'm giving you. I'm giving myself right now a little vacation, let's say, because I have already paid the bills that I need to pay.
Mm.
You know, you need rest. You need rest, man. I've been doing it 3 months straight. So in order to make, I made at least 7,000 a month, $7,000 in a month, I think. No, this month, last
S-
month. So
s-
I had to work
s-
all 7 days, bro. I had to work. You don't call it work, but I call it work.
So
Freaking,
you
it
got
tires you driving, bro. Tires you driving all day. It's working away.
okay.
Get
All
up
right.
at 6 a.m. and then ended at 9 p.m. That's work. Ain't that
Why
work?
you why you in the house now?
I've told you it went down right now. It's slow,
It's slow, huh?
but I can afford right now because, like I said, I'll wait it off and then maybe tomorrow will be better.
Mm. So it's a lot of uncertainty in that.
It is. That's true. It's a lot of uncertainty, but it's always been like that. That's why my
Mm.
my thing is telling you that it's not the gig app. Is you got to budget. You got to learn. Like you said, you worked trucking and you made a lot of money, so where you can rest the rest of the time. That's kind of like what I'm seeing with what I see with this. It goes up, it goes down,
That's
and
what you see with gig
so
work.
yeah.
You can make $1 million in a year as a gigger.
No, no, no. Most I made maybe this year probably like
So
55,000,
so
58,000.
where the comparison at? I don't see where you comparing what I've done to what the fuck that shit is.
No, no, just it's a micro level. It's on a micro level though, like mini micro level, right?
Hey,
But it's the
listen,
same. It's the same thing,
no, it's not. It is not the same thing. It is different. What you doing and
right?
what I've done is not the same thing. Don't put that in your mouth because it's not. It's different. It's different.
It's the same
Listen, it ain't the same. Don't you fix that.
recipe. It's the same theory. Same theory.
No, it's
Just on a
nowhere
micro
near.
level.
Listen, it's not. The thought of it is not
How many hours you worked when you did that?
18, 20, depending
You
on the
said
day.
7 days. You said 7 days a
16.
week, right?
The
Me too.
first
16
year, seven
from
days a
six to
week.
from
The
six to
first
eight.
couple
Well, how
years,
many
7
hours
days
is
a
that?
week.
From
See,
six
the days
a.m. to
start at
8.
6, 7, 8 in the morning. Sometimes they would go to 1, 2 the next day. It all
Right.
depending
So it's
on
the
the
same thing,
day.
just different different amounts of money. You made more money. I just made a little less money than that.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
made more
same
money.
theory though.
I
I had to work.
made more money because of the service being a premium service and a very labor intensive service, which is why like a lot of y'all cats today that are men choose to do minimal work and you get minimal results.
Right.
I don't anything that I do,
If I
if
was
I get
single,
into
if I
listen,
was
if I
single, or if I was not with no kids, maybe I do the 2, 3 job thing to get ahead. But with kids, it's different because either way, if you work two
yeah,
jobs, your wife gets a job, you get a job, you get two jobs, your wife gets two jobs, you'll get ahead quicker. But then you got to get the babysitter, you got to get the school, and to
but
me, I
those
don't
are
want to do that.
excuses. Those are excuses.
Could be, could be, could
They
be.
are because those were
Okay.
choices too. Those are choices.
Right.
So when you increase your cost of living, you have to increase your revenue. You can't use that as an excuse and then not hold yourself accountable. If you increase your cost of living, you have to increase your revenue. So if you got 3 kids, you can't use those kids as a scapegoat. You
No, they're not
you
scapegoat. I just told
but
you
you
my
can't say, well,
priority is my
man,
kids.
and thank you. Your priority is your kids, so that means it's your responsibility to ensure that they have a
Right,
good quality of life.
right. With the parents being together, we take care of them.
That's a that's
That's a
not
good
that's a
quality of life for them.
that's a non-negotiable. That's just what it is off back. Like we don't
Right.
like that's not something that
You got the possibility to do it with the gig apps.
is
That's what I'm telling you.
all right. You got it, pimp.
All
So
right, man.
you
Peace
got it.
out. I'm out of here.
We're talking another time. Peace.